Anyway, the main thing I want us to look at, though, in the practice that we're going to try out and then take with us into our life, is really just thinking, I want to stop thinking about myself so much. Just, even though there's a real self that we can think about, for the most part, we think about this false sense of self. So generally, if you say, I'm going to stop thinking about myself so much, that means we're stopping our self-cherishing. Because that's mostly the self that we're focusing on. I want to stop thinking about myself so much. Okay, so just stop it. I can't. Right? We're just like, I this, I that, I this, I that, right? It's like, it's so deeply ingrained, very habitual. Even when we're doing things for others, we'll notice this. I this, I that. I hope they appreciate what I'm doing for them. I hope they really are like gonna pay me back for this one, right? I'm so great helping them. I. It's like so habitual. And when we keep thinking about ourselves so much, we then take ourselves very seriously. And that's where a lot of our pain and discomfort comes in. It's like we become very sensitive, we become very anxious, always worried about that self. That's what ends up making us angry, right? We are cherishing ourselves so much, thinking about ourselves so much, taking ourselves so seriously, that if things maybe won't go according to plan, we get angry, we lash out. If we weren't taking ourselves so seriously, it'd be okay if things don't go as well as we'd like. We wouldn't be so uptight about it. So the practice is quite simple. We're just trying to go around our life, but without thinking about ourselves. That's it. Or if we are thinking about ourselves, it's not with such intensity or gravity. So really the simplest way to do this is actually just to think about others, because it's hard to just not think about yourself in the abstract. But if you fill your mind with thinking about others, then you'll have freedom from thinking about yourself. So a very simple way to do this is just to think all day towards other people. You are important. And your happiness and freedom are important. So every moment we think that, we are then not thinking, I am most important. My happiness and freedom are most important, right? So every moment we think towards other people, you are important. Your happiness and freedom are important. We're free of self-cherishing, exaggerated self-concern. And the key to this practice is just doing this a lot. We have to be very vigilant with this. Because the second we stop thinking it, we're almost definitely thinking, I am most important. My happiness and freedom are most important. My needs and my wishes. So we're like, kind of like reining in our mind, being very, very vigilant, like really on it to catch ourselves, thinking, I'm not going to think about myself today. I'm only going to think about others. So you might think, well, that's going to make my life horrible because I'm never going to protect myself and do things that are good for myself or whatever. Again, that's that deceptive mind speaking up. It's not true at all. It's not true. That hasn't worked, right? We've tried self-cherishing. The Buddhist point of view is for infinite eons. Billions of lives. We've tried this out. It hasn't worked. We're in the same old spot. Many lives later, eons later, we're in the same old spot with nothing to show for it. It's obvious it's not working. It's not working. We have to try a new approach. In addition, when things go wrong in our life and we encounter difficult situations, it's really just the mind of self-cherishing that makes them problematic. If we have a mind of cherishing others, we'll solve our problems when needed, but just out of our care for other people.